You in the right place?
I hope so. I think I'm in the right place. Am I in the right place?
I don't know.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep, you are.
beasts and beauties. I just added that. If you guys could hear the conversation that takes place right before I hit this live button, I don't know. I don't know if you love us more or hate us more.
Probably love us more.
Because she is being mean to me, and then I'm having to defend myself. And, I mean, you know,
No one believes you.
a redneck's got to do what a redneck's got to do.
Rhett Butler heard us turn the video on, so he's ready to be on camera. Come here.
Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Hey, Cindy, welcome.
Say hello.
Hey, Michelle, welcome.
Toto no longer wants to be on camera.
Toto, come on, buddy. Where's he at?
He's outside.
Oh, he don't even want to be in the house. He's like, this is stupid.
Rhett heard us and came back
Hey,
inside.
Stephanie.
Oh, me.
What's NB, Canada? Brunswick?
New Brunswick?
Is that what it is? New Brunswick?
I don't know.
That's what I was going to
I'm
guess.
horrible at geography.
Hey, Brenda.
Stop.
Hey, Lori.
Stop. You're hurting me.
Don't hurt the
Stop. God.
pregnant.
I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. Just change hands.
Careful. Don't. All right, guys. All seriousness aside, let's get silly. I mean, the opposite of that. Do we have any?
Time to get
We're going to answer some
it.
questions. Baby update, video update.
You probably watched last night.
Yeah, that's true. If you watched last night, you already know. But you can give us a quick 10-second blurb.
There's a baby.
That's currently the size of a keto pear.
Yeah, a pair, yeah.
Argue with me. Go ahead. Yeah.
He's so mean to me.
Not like I'm a board certified doctor or anything.
No one cares.
Oh, that's true. Nobody cares at all. Hey, John Kaufman. Hey, Larry. So, yeah.
He has not kicked. Well, I think I felt something last week, but only one time. That's it. Hadn't felt anything else.
He's a very chill baby. He or she. So, any other updates? We're packing
Going to
tonight.
Salt Lake City in the morning.
Yep, headed to Salt Lake City in the morning.
Oh, speaking of the tick, found one.
Well, first tick of the season for Rhett Butler.
Sorry, buddy.
Just lay it on the table. That's what I would do
What
with
am
a
I
tick.
going to do with it?
It probably will give me that beef allergy disease.
I'm going to throw it in the toilet.
Okay.
Ah,
What do you guys do with ticks when you get them off? Do you throw them in the toilet, wash them down the sink, or my grandfather used to always light a match and burn them on the stove. I don't know why he did that, but he loved doing that. What do you guys do with ticks when you find them? Throw them outside, catch and release. That's what a vegan would do. They would release the tick back
ticks
into the
are
wild.
Evil. I'm not releasing that sucker. That
Hey, Melissa.
blood-sucking vampire.
It's not a vampire. It's just a parasite. It's a
vampire.
different thing. Different thing. Betty burns them.
I flesh them.
Deb flushes them.
I try to smash them,
Nancy
but
fleshes
they're
them.
hard.
Yeah, you got to get them just right between your nails, and then that's kind of gross because who knows what's coming out. So, yeah. Burn or flush. That's what I do. Oh, Cindy crushes
Crush them
them.
with a rock.
Just don't lick your fingers after you do that. Oh, yeah. Lori, you haven't heard about this? There's some kind of, I don't know if it's a virus or a spirochete or something in tick saliva, but there are ticks in the southeast now that if they bite you, they can give you this condition where you're allergic to beef for like months, and maybe all red meat for like months and months and months. It's not permanent, and it's rare. It's very rare, but I haven't seen any cases at the clinic, but I've read about it, and I forgot the name of it. But yeah, it makes you allergic to red meat for a few months. So I definitely don't want that. Maybe that's what happened to you this first trimester. You got bit by.
Maybe. Why do you turn that light on all the way up?
Turn it down if you're gonna cry,
I don't understand. I tell you not to do that. and
because
then
it
you're
makes me look younger.
like, no, it doesn't.
See if there's any questions. People might have some questions. for
reading.
us. Oh, okay.
Drop some cues.
Does
so we
anybody
can give you some A's.
Anybody catch and release their ticks? Any closet vegans out there who refuse to kill a tick? When I was a kid, fun fact for you, I was a mean big brother. If I found a tick on me, I would put it on my little brother. I'd like put it in his hair. The next day, he'd be like, "Oh, you got a tick on my head." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how do you get all these ticks? I don't understand."
Why?
I was just a mean big brother. I don't know.
Somebody's, are you serious? Yeah, no, there's really a disease like that.
Yeah. There's really, and it's not really a disease. It's more of a temporary autoimmune condition because it looks like everybody recovers from it after 3 to 6 months. But yeah, you go through this period where you can't. If you eat red meat, you kind of react to it. I know it's mean, right? I feel really bad about it now. Don't tell my brother that I did that. I don't think he knows to this day that I did that to him.
What vitamin K2 vitamin should we take?
I think the more I read about it, MK7 is better than MK4. Not a lot. So if you've got MK4, go ahead and take it up. I don't think it's bad in any way. It's just probably not as good as MK7. Most people need 90 to 120 micrograms a day. So
What do you think about PKD?
PKD, like in relation to
I don't know. That's
keto?
the question.
Then I saw something about PVCs. I've
Is
had
keto good for PVCs?
Yeah, I've had multiple people tell me that. So first of all, PVCs are not necessarily bad. They're not necessarily a disease. Everybody over the age of 30 has multiple PVCs a day. Some people like Nisha can feel them when they happen. And other people like me, I can't feel. I probably have 1 or 2 PVCs every minute. It's very normal after the 40, and then as you get older, you have them more commonly. But as long as you just have them sporadically, and you're not having shortness of breath or chest pain or pressure, they don't mean anything. And so if you feel that, then go see your doc. Let your doc check you out. Maybe put a 24-hour monitor on you. But almost never are they a sign of disease. It doesn't mean anything bad. And I've had multiple people who... Yeah. I've had many people who can feel their PVCs tell me that they get much less frequent when they're eating low. They want to call me right now. And I thought I had my silence thing on, but obviously I don't. I guess that got turned off. I don't know. She's probably going to call 8 more times, so just be prepared for us to stall for a minute.
Okay. Does vitamin C help if we are carnivore?
It looks like that the more carbs you eat, the more vitamin C you need. And so if you know somebody who's still eating the standard stupid American diet, they probably need 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day for both the vitamin effect, the antioxidant effect, and the immune system boosting. But it looks like the lower carb you eat, you just don't need as much vitamin C. There is vitamin C in fresh red meat. There is lots of vitamin C in liver. And it's not lots, not as much as in a lemon, but I mean, there's a good little amount in liver. And so if you're eating liver once or twice a week and you're eating fresh red meat, not like processed, dried, meats, then you're getting vitamins. You're getting enough vitamin C. If you're eating less than 20 total grams of carbs a day, you probably don't need a vitamin C supplement at all. Because there are carnivores who have been eating less than 3 grams of total proteins a day, total carbs a day for decades. And they haven't taken a single vitamin C supplement. Their skin's great, their teeth are great, they don't have scurvy, they don't have pinpoint petechiae, they don't have scurvy. So either they're making their own vitamin C or you just don't need as much when you lower the carbs.
Didn't you read the article about skipping breakfast is bad for you?
Yeah, I did. And I'm thinking about maybe doing a Facebook IGTV video about it. I don't think it's worthy of a YouTube
I just
video.
feel like there's something we're going to have to make videos every day retaliating because it's stupid crap.
And the reason I was going to make a video is because the American Academy of Family Physicians posted it on their Twitter feed. Like literally, this study is ignorant. It's one of those epidemiological studies that means nothing. But they posted it like, oh, this is important. You should eat your Fruit Loops and skim milk every morning so you live longer. No, it's stupid. No, you don't have to eat breakfast. And anytime the first time you eat each day is your breakfast, right? You're breaking your fast. But it doesn't have to be in the morning. And so, yes, you have to eat breakfast because if you never eat breakfast, you'll die. Because you'll never, ever eat. That's 1.
2, actually.
Oh, that's 2. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Somebody said, "Are you gonna watch Endgame in Utah?" I don't know if we'll have time, but if I don't get to,
We're gonna try. Yeah.
I swear, if somebody ruins this for me and like,
Nobody tell Nisha what happens if you see it.
like
Don't.
respect the Endgame. Do not post anything. Just say, "Wow, that was great." If you must say anything,
Right. Yeah.
but don't be like, "Whoa, Thanos!" Blah blah blah.
I can't believe Thanos did the following.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That'll make me unfriend you real quick. Have you heard of Metagenics brand of supplements? It's pharmaceutical grade.
Yeah, Metagenics has a good quality line of supplements. I do not think you need as many of their supplements as they think you need, but yeah, I think they're a reputable brand if you want to buy supplements from them. I also think that Puritan.com, which is Puritan's Pride, I think they have good quality supplements. And then anytime you get on Amazon and it says like, what is that? It says like Amazon Choice or recommended or whatever.
Amazon Choice.
Amazon Choice. They don't put that unless they've got a ton of great feedback about that supplement. So anytime you buy a supplement off Amazon, make sure it says Amazon Choice. Yeah.
Have you posted what you're eating? This is to me. Have you posted what you're eating these days? I'm doing terrible this pregnancy. I'm going to have a YouTube video coming up. Don't feel bad. I didn't eat great.
Yeah.
It's the first trimester is survival mode, basically. I'm doing much better now, but man, those first 13 weeks.
Somebody wants to see your bump.
Oh, I can.
And it's a girl, so it's okay. I don't think it's weird. It's
It's
not much of a bump, but it's a bump.
I don't know if you can see.
Stand up.
I am standing up,
No,
you
you're
turd.
not. Stand up in the chair. Look at that little bump. Aw, it's baby Barry.
I just ate a sub, so it's a little.
Yeah,
It's a little more poked out than
Sub
it
bump.
normally is. Ugh.
yeah.
Okay.
But your first trimester, your body's much more forgiving of carbs. So don't beat yourself up the first trimester. Now, second and third, you need to tighten it back up.
Yeah.
But the first trimester, you're just trying not to die.
Just make sure you're getting your folate, and if you have thyroid issues, take your thyroid medicine. Like focus on that kind of stuff. Get your
Yep.
electrolytes. Like
Yep. And make sure you're taking your vitamin D so that you'll have vitamin D in
And
your
your
breast milk.
iodine.
And make sure you're taking your iodine. It'll actually help increase your baby's IQ. A lot of European studies show that. Big deal.
What time should you take Mega Mag? I take mine at night because it makes you a little sleepy.
Yeah, some people it doesn't make them sleepy at all. You can take it whenever you want. But it doesn't really make me sleepy, but it does make me calm and quiets my mind. So I usually take it at bedtime. I think that's the best time.
I'm still eating carbs. I don't think you have to be zero carb pregnant.
No, you don't
If
have
you
to.
read Real Food Pregnancy by I don't know, a bunch of
Lily
names.
Nichols.
Lily Nichols.
She's a registered dietitian.
Yeah, but she's keto low carb based, and
Mm-hmm.
she says to keep it below 200 carbs, which is still super low compared to the standard American diet, but much higher than keto.
Yeah,
So
I really recommend you try hard to keep it under 100 a day, but and
I'm
then
probably
also
not.
well, you're probably about 100.
you think?
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
then
keeping up
also
with it,
try
really.
to keep them as keto friendly as possible.
Yeah,
and
don't eat
that's
candy,
hard.
cookies, milkshakes, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you do, don't be just stress is also bad. So
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then when you're pregnant, obviously you still need your salt, your magnesium, your potassium.
yeah,
all that
I
stuff.
keep my electrolytes up for sure.
Yeah.
PKD is a diet in Hungary.
PKD.
You'll have to research that.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that.
Betty wants to know, is it normal for you to have a higher heart rate when you're on keto? Is that fat burning heart rate?
Some people do, and here's why. When you're eating very low carb, it actually increases your metabolic rate. We think that's because you're hacking your hormones in the right direction, right? And so you're actually ramping up how fast your body burns. And so one of the things that might come along with that is an increased heart rate. Not to the point where you're tachycardic or above 95 a minute resting, but yeah, you might go from a 60 heart rate up to a 65 or 70 heart rate. Just imagine how much energy your heart's going to burn over a 24-hour period, beating 10 extra times a minute. That's a lot of beats a day, and that's the kind of thing. And like when a lot of people, when they go carnivore, they get the meat sweats. That's what they call it. But it's basically your body just ramps up your metabolic rate, and you're burning fat like crazy.
You run hotter too.
Yeah, you run hotter. And like tell them what happens when we get in the car.
He steams up the car.
no matter who I'm in the car with, if I'm the front passenger, my side window and the windshield fogs up always when I get in. Nobody else's does, just mine. And I think
Really
that's
strange.
it's from being carnivore. Plus, I'm like the Star Lord. What's his name?
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Just call me Lord. Is that what he said?
No, he says Mr. Star-Lord.
Mr. Star-Lord,
Just
yeah.
Star-Lord is fine. Sorry. It's Adventure Time. Can keto heal a cognitive head injury? I'm not sure if I phrased that right, but there's a teenager in my community that had a head injury from a school activity accident, and her memory has reset every morning for a year.
Oh, that is terrible. It's like 50 first dates, but not funny.
Poor
That's
thing.
terrible. So that's a great question, and it's a valid question. So what is her brain made of? Fat, cholesterol, cell membranes, synapses, right? Ganglions, myelin sheaths. You need fat for all of those things to form. And a lot of doctors will even say, oh, you've got all the neurons that you're ever going to have when you're 12 years old. That's complete and utter bullshit. Okay. You're making new neurons all the time. You're not making as many new neurons as you are skin cells or intestine cells, but you are making new neurons all the time. And when you're feeding your body what your body needs to make those neurons and those ganglia and those myelin sheaths and all those cell membranes, then yeah, it's going to help your brain heal faster. Now, her injury may be permanent. It's hard to know with the brain, but keto, low carb, carnivore-ish is going to give her the best chance of healing as completely as possible from that injury. Absolutely. Yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, if one of our babies had a head injury, oh my God, they would eat nothing but fatty meat and a little selected veg. They wouldn't have a choice. I'd be like, I don't give a damn if you want what you want. You're eating this because you got to heal that brain.
Tough crap.
Yeah.
Donna wants to know, does fatty pancreas heal as fast as a fatty liver?
Yeah. You typically, the fatty pancreas is the first fat that your body will burn because it's the most dangerous fat of all. And so typically when you come to keto, the fatty pancreas is the first thing to get better. Then the fatty liver gets better. And so the pancreas, literally, it's only maybe 2 or 3 ounces of fat in there. And so it doesn't take your body many days to burn that out at all. And then usually fatty liver's gone in 2 or 3 weeks if you're eating very low carb keto. And then you start to burn the fat inside your belly. And then lastly, you're going to burn the fat on your butt, belly, thighs, boobs, back boobs. No, not the good fat, just the bad fat.
Kim says, can you explain how it's possible to not lose on keto? I'm 2 months in, cutting all carbs and sugar. I love this way of life, but I can't understand. I'm up 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, and so some people can cut their carbs to 20 total a day, and they'll lose weight like gangbusters. Other people like me, you've got to cut your carbs to under 5 total grams a day.
And you could have a hormonal issue,
Yep,
a
that's
thyroid
right, that's
issue.
right,
There's
yep.
things that if you haven't had your labs done,
Yep.
and make sure that you know exactly what you may think that you're not putting any carbs.
Well, the fact
And
that you
you're-
said you're eating keto, not carnivore, I know you're eating carbs. They're good keto carbs, but some people have to cut them even more than 20. I'm one of them. When after the clinic fire, I kind of went off carnivore back to keto, and then with the baby, Nisha's wanting to eat some damn carbs every 5 minutes, and so they're here. And so with that increased stress, I went from 235 to 245 in.
He's not even eating like carbs. It's like veggie dip.
Right.
And cheese
Broccoli.
Balls, broccoli, like stuff
literally
like
that kind of stuff, and I'm up 10 pounds. And I'm sure probably 6 of it is inflammation and fluid. But yeah, I've gained weight just eating maybe 15, 20 grams of carbs a day. And so I've got to cut that back down to as close to 0 as I can get, and I'll go right back to 230, 235.
But I'm just saying, like, some people think they're eating, and are you counting total or are you counting net?
That's right.
If you're not counting total, you need to start counting total. And if you think heavy cream has 0 carbs in it, then you need to do some research because it has carbs in it. Like those type of things keep people from losing because they aren't aware because they've been misled by propaganda and labels and all that stuff. So,
Stop all keto products, keto bars, keto shakes, keto powders. Stop all collagen, branched chain amino acids, protein powders. You don't need any of that. Stop baking. Okay, stop using nut flours if you're doing that.
Right.
Any of those things, although they are low carb, they may not be low carb enough for you to lose weight. And that's me, man. I love freaking keto pancakes and keto, muffins. I love that crap. But if I eat that every day,
When
no.
we say total carbs, we mean total carbs. Every carb, no carb left behind.
Yeah, and you round up, not round down.
And carbs in your drinks, carbs in your sweeteners, carbs in anything. It's not like, oh, we don't count.
Yep.
No. Every single thing that goes
Yep.
into our body that has a carb in it, that counts.
You can eat 100 grams of carbohydrates a day of broccoli if you eat enough broccoli. So you gotta watch your carbs. Some people can eat as many of the brassicas as they want on keto, and they do great. Other people like me, can't do that. Can't do that. Broccoli has to be a cheat for me. That's a cheat day if I eat broccoli, because I'll gain weight if I do it.
What is a good way to enjoy sardines? Megan wants to know.
The way I enjoy them is I take a can of sardines, I get the mustard and the pepper, then I go outside.
Away.
Then I open the can and put lots of mustard and lots of pepper, and I enjoy my sardines outside. And then I let Rhett Butler and Toto lick the can. And then when we come in, I am innocent, and they have sardine breath, and they get in trouble.
You get baths.
Yep, they have to take a bath.
I prefer anchovies, and they're about the same.
Yep.
The benefits you get from them are the same. They don't smell as bad. They taste better. You can put them in a Caesar salad. So if you like salads, that's a good way to get.
What is
that
it?
in.
Mackerel, herring, sardines.
What is
and
it? Pickled herring's pretty
Kippers,
good.
yeah, pickle herring, and then anchovies. All those guys are full of omega-3s. You're eating the entire fish, or you're eating the bones, you're eating the collagen, the chondroitin sulfate, the glucosamine, the collagen. You're getting all that stuff. So I think they're very, very healthy foods, but I have to eat them outside. I can't eat them in the house.
Karen wants to know, is eating just bacon, steak, and eggs okay? That's all I eat.
Yeah.
That's carnivore.
How do you feel? Do you feel great? If you feel great and you're looking better, carry on. Your body will let you know if what you're eating is not the right diet for you.
I don't know what this is. Jane. Morgan Berry, hang on.
Morgan Berry.
She hung up.
Aw, she must have realized.
Oh, no. She's back.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey, look what I just bought.
Why do you have a goat in your car?
I just bought it.
You bought a baby goat?
Why?
How much you pay?
What is it?
How much?
75.
I think you paid too
$75.
much for the goat.
I'm fine with it.
Is
I
it
love it.
is it a boy or girl?
A boy.
You gonna keep it in your room?
No.
Just put it with the chickens.
Morgan Berry has bought a baby goat.
We're doing a Facebook Live.
Hold him up close. Let's see. Is it a boy or girl?
It's black. You can't see him.
Oh, he's black.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
cute. Oh
he's
yeah,
sweet.
nice goat.
All right. Well, I'll call you later.
Protein and fat in case
Love you,
case of
bye.
emergency. Good plan, Morgan Berry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We must answer the phone when girls call.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. Jimmy and Joanne say, I've lost muscle but still have some belly fat. I started some weight training to try and gain muscle. What else can I do?
That's it. Lift weights. There's nothing else you can do. Eat lots of fatty meat and lift weights. And a lot of people think they've lost muscle on keto, but you got fat on your upper arm too. You got fat on your chest. You got fat on your back when you first come to this way of eating. And you're going to lose that fat, and it might make you look thinner like you've lost muscle. Keto does not make you lose muscle. Doesn't work that way.
Kenny wants to know, should one go from keto to carnivore overnight or gradually?
Depends on the person. Some people go cold turkey. We have a friend in San Antonio, Lindy, who she'll do a month of keto and then a month of carnivore, and she alternates back and forth. When I tried it, I just thought I'm going to do a month of carnivore, so I just went cold turkey to nothing but fatty red meat, bacon, eggs, and butter, and then some full fat cheese. So I did. That's what I did. Yeah, you can. But now some people need to wean the carbs.
You okay?
Maybe, I don't know.
Debbie wants to know, is it necessary to wean yourself off of statins or can you go cold turkey?
No, you can just stop the statin. Yeah, and more, I'm just telling people, throw statins in the garbage. You're not ever going to harm yourself by stopping a statin. Statins are worthless.
How do you improve your good cholesterol?
You improve your good cholesterol, which is the HDL, by eating lots of fatty meat, fatty red meat, and by being more active, going for a daily walk, going for a jog, lifting weights. Being more active raises your HDL, and eating fatty meat raises your HDL.
Will you be making a video about oxalates?
Yeah, I've got it on my notes about all the, not just oxalates, but also phytates, all the different, the glutenins and all the glutens and all that stuff that plants use to defend themselves. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Jamie says her husband is still losing weight and wants to stop losing weight. So what should he do?
He'll stop losing weight when he reaches his ideal body weight.
He could also start working out.
Yeah. And then if he wants to stop losing fat, then he should start eating more carbs. If he wants to gain muscle, then he needs to lift weights.
Yeah. And not like, you don't have to go crazy.
Yep. Right.
Do you eat the Berry Farm animals?
No.
We haven't, but they're here in case we
That's
need
right. They are our
them.
plan
Except
B.
for the dogs, obviously.
They are, well, they're plan C. Yeah. If we
They're
got
plan
hungry
T.
enough, we would eat them too. Plan T, yeah, they're way down there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, obviously before we starve to death, we would eat the dogs and the girls would eat the dogs.
But they're just, they're pets.
Yeah, but we've got, 3 goats currently and 2
3
pigs.
goats, 2 potbelly pigs,
4
4
peacocks.
peacocks,
Yeah. And
3
we don't-
dogs, a cat, and 1
Yeah.
prodigal cat that
Yeah.
we don't know.
And I got the goats and pigs just to kind of practice being a farmer so that if we ever had to do that, I would know how to do it. So,
Natalie says she would like you to explain how keto doesn't cause kidney stones.
yeah. So it looks like, because I've had multiple people at the clinic who used to have a kidney stone 3 or 4 times a year. After they go low carb keto, they just don't have them anymore. And I know the list of food that you're taught to avoid if you have kidney stones, but in my experience, the things that cause kidney stones are grains, the industrial seed oils, and sugar. When you get those out of your diet, your kidneys just stop making stones.
AMAC Powell is this person's Facebook name.
Hey, Mac Powell.
So, I'm not sure if it's a... Okay, she says, I'm a 56-year-old woman that fractured her proximal humerus a week ago. I've been vegetarian until I started keto in January.
Yeah.
Are there any foods, fasting suggestions for a speedier healing?
Yeah, you need to eat lots of fatty meat. You need to eat the gristle, back to the sardines,
collagen.
all the collagen. And so don't necessarily buy protein powders or any of that. But a lot of people think that bones are just made of calcium, and that's completely wrong. Your bones are a collagen matrix. And then your body puts calcium in that collagen matrix, right? And so you need to be eating gristle, chicken skins, the tendon in your chicken. You need to be eating that little egg around a boiled egg, that the little membrane. If you eat ribs, you need to eat the thick membrane thing on the back. All that stuff is pure collagen, and that's going to help that bone heal as fast as possible. Also, make sure you're taking some vitamin D with some MK7, and that'll also help speed the recovery.
Is that one of those Samsung phones right there?
Right here?
Right here.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
Yeah. Also, yeah, being vegan for years is terrible for your bones. And so bones can get stronger. They can get better. The fracture is going to heal in 6 to 10 weeks, but your bones themselves, it's going to take a year or 2 of you eating fatty meat, keto, to get you, and then also being very active, lifting some weights, and stressing your bones to get your bone density, and not only your bone density, but your meaningful bone strength back up to where you want it to be. Yeah, plant-based diet is terrible for your bones.
Jennifer says, lately meat is grossing me out. Usually I'm good with it, but all I want is eggs, fish, and veg.
You may be pregnant.
She says I'm not pregnant.
Oh.
Any hormonal or physiological reason
Yeah.
you think this should be?
Yeah, depending on your age and your hormone status, you may want to go and let your doc check all your hormones, because sometimes when you go through hormonal changes, that will cause you to have cravings or anti-cravings.
Janice says my cholesterol was 300 and something, and Doc wants to put me on statins. I said no.
Yeah, my last total cholesterol was 350.
We should do a parody about, they try to make me go. We should say they try to make me get on statins. I said
Good.
no.
Yes, I love
no,
that.
no.
Yeah. And I could be the doctor, like,
Yeah, that would be funny.
that'd be great.
Jiva Jeva, is it okay to go off of Jardiance?
Yeah. Jardiance is one of those
it's
type 2 diabetes
expensive.
medications that are
Ooh,
super expensive.
$500?
But here's the thing. I guarantee you when you stop the Jardiance, you won't be able to tell any difference in your blood sugar. It may go up 10 points. Like that and Farxiga and all those newer ones are expensive as hell. And I've had multiple people stop them and be like, I couldn't even tell any difference in my blood sugar at all. It's like it wasn't doing anything. Yes. So keep lowering your carbs and stop the Jardiance.
Cindy says, my grandson was diagnosed with CRMO. Will keto help with the flare-ups?
Yeah, the keto is going to help him have fewer flare-ups. And when he does have a flare-up, it's going to be less severe.
Karen, new from North Carolina. Welcome, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Beverly says her kidney stones have not bothered her since she's been keto.
Right.
Oh, mad.
Is anybody else used to have kidney stones pretty frequently and now you never have them on keto, or you have smaller ones and it's way less frequent? Put that in the comments so everybody can see that, because that and gout is two things, and then also gallstones are three things that people just don't believe keto will make better. They're like, no, I know it's going to make it worse. It's like, no, it doesn't. It makes it better. I promise. You just got to give it time.
Do you have a YouTube video on diverticulitis?
I think so.
I think you do too.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Do oxalates cause kidney stones?
If you're eating an inflammatory diet and your kidneys are inflamed and your immune system is pissed off with your diet, then eating a high oxalate diet can lead to kidney stones. But once you're eating low carb keto, then if you want to have some spinach every now and then, it's not going to cause you to have kidney stones.
Nancy says, how do you get the egg membrane to separate from the shell? That's a good question.
It's difficult. It's hard. You may not be able to get the entire membrane, but any little bit of that you can get is pure collagen, and you're going to absorb 100% of that because it's very bioavailable. That's the problem, is the collagen powders. A lot of them are plant-based, and you don't even absorb half the collagen in there. But if you eat the gristle in your steak, or the chicken skin, or the egg membrane, or the rib membrane, you're going to absorb 100% of that because it was made for you to eat it.
I don't know what he's barking at, but he's been barking for 15 minutes.
He's doing his job.
If you're making bone broth, does it need to be organic?
Homemade bone broth is by far and away the best. It is magic. You cannot beat it. It does smell up the house a little bit. For some women, they don't like that.
Oh, everybody says that.
Not every single body in the world.
Says that it smells. Yes, it smells. That doesn't. There's nothing that changes that. It smells up your house.
It
Whether
makes
or
your
not-
house smell lovely. It smells like bone broth, which is wonderful. But buying Kettle and Fire, and there's one other brand. I can never remember the name.
Can't either.
But they're okay. I think they're better than the crap you get at Walmart, but they're not going to have the magic in them. Like if you
There's a
save up
brand
your
out
bones.
of Texas that does, that's supposed to be sending us.
Comes in the jar, right? Yeah, it comes in a glass jar, and I think it comes on ice. That's the only way you're going to get the magic, is if they literally made it and then pack it in ice and ship it to you in a glass jar. It might still have some of the magic, but when you save your bones in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, and you probably should just do it all week, and then on Sunday, or just pick bone broth day and throw them all in a pot. Chicken, beef, lamb, pork, it doesn't matter, and make a big pot of bone broth, because then you're going to have that gelatin that forms on the top and that fat. That's the stuff right there. That's going to make that proximal humerus heal. That's going to make your bone strength better. Not just your bone density, but your strength. All that stuff gets better.
Megan said it smells like hot dog juice.
Hot dog juice. It does. What's wrong with that?
That's gross. Oh, God. Karen says, can having a pacemaker cause inflammation? I've been carnivore since December, but my markers are up from 6.9 to 8.4.
You have a foreign body inside your body, and your immune system may not appreciate that. Now, you may have inflammation from some other source, but that could cause your markers to be a little high. So if it's just a little high and you feel great otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it. But now, if your markers are really high, your doctor needs to keep looking for what else is causing the inflammation, because it shouldn't cause a ton of inflammation.
Elena says, quit elbowing me. Menopause is causing her weight gain. She's eating 90% carnivore and watching macros. How does she lose?
You're going to have to go see a doc who knows about bioidentical hormone optimization and get your hormones fixed. Get them optimized. That will speed up your weight loss. Most women, the average woman thinks that menopause is when their estrogen goes down. But the worst symptoms of menopause, the weight gain, the inability to sleep, the lack of sex drive, all that stuff comes from your testosterone and your progesterone going down. And they go down before your estrogen. So way before you get hot flashes and night sweats, you're in menopause. And so if you find a doc who knows how to do bioidentical hormones and you get your testosterone and your progesterone optimized, you'll start losing fat, which is your goal, and putting on muscle, and you'll feel much better.
Mark, what's up, Mark?
Hey,
he
Mark.
wants to know, have you seen the study that links avocado and prostate health?
In a good way, right? I've seen a couple of studies that show a decrease in prostate hypertrophy and cancer. And I don't know if it's something magic in the avocado or if it's just the lower carbs that people who eat lots of avocados tend to eat. Hey, Amanda, does that make sense? Because that's the problem with nutrition studies. If somebody's eating a lot of avocados, it could be something magic in the avocado that calms down your prostate, or it could just be the lack of carbs. See how it's almost impossible to tease out? That's the problem with nutrition research. You don't really know what's causing it. You just know if you eat more avocado, it gets better.
Somebody asked if we announced this live. No, we don't announce this live because we're at the same place, same time every week. Just like on the Monday night, every Monday night at 7 o'clock.
On my page.
Yeah, and every Tuesday night here at 7 o'clock, unless we're at a softball game or something, and then it's at 8 o'clock. But we usually will let you know if it's going to be late. But yeah, we don't announce it because you guys know, unless you're new.
Yep.
So I'm letting you know.
Yep.
It's every Tuesday.
Every
7 o'clock.
Tuesday at 7 Central, right here.
Yeah, Central. Are those the dogs barking? Yeah, I know. They're crazy.
They're barking at something.
Do you have a video that talks about statins?
Hey, Eva. Oh, yeah, I've got multiple videos on my YouTube channel talking about statins. If you want to get a lot of the science behind why I say you don't need a statin, go to my YouTube channel and search for Dr. David Diamond. He gave a presentation at Low Carb Houston. And he's a PhD researcher at the University of South Florida. And he gave a special lecture in Houston about why statins are just stupid. And nobody should take them. Even if you've had a heart attack in the past, statins not going to help you.
Have you seen anyone experience additional healing of Bell's palsy with diet changes?
I haven't seen that, but also haven't not seen it either. It wouldn't surprise me a bit because, usually Bell's palsy is a very self-limited. It lasts for a few weeks and then it goes away. And that, if for those you don't know, it's when one side of your face becomes paralyzed. And you may have seen somebody like this. And a stroke can do that, but then Bell's palsy has a very specific way it does it that a doctor should be able to tell the difference between Bell's palsy and a stroke. But it wouldn't surprise me a bit if your odds of getting Bell's palsy are way less eating keto, but also it wouldn't surprise me if you got Bell's palsy, if it didn't get better way quicker, and you'd have a much less odds of it becoming permanent, which it does in like 1 out of 100 cases.
Mike wants to know, his mom's diagnosed with stage 3 kidney failure. She's afraid to do keto. Is there a reason why she shouldn't?
No reason whatsoever. I think I've got a video or two about keto and kidneys. The thing that's going to harm your mom's remaining kidney function is eating too many carbs. It's not protein. It's not fat. If her doctor says you got to limit your protein because it's bad for your kidneys, you probably need to find a new doctor. Okay, Dr. Jason Fung, you may have heard of him. He's very big in the keto low carb fasting sphere. He is a kidney specialist. That's what he does for a living. And he recommends nothing but keto if you have any degree of chronic kidney disease. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of yawns.
I'm tired. I'm tired already because we have to do a whole lot tomorrow. Making me exhausted already.
She's tired in advance.
Millie says, does your Topo Chico explode when you open it?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Sometimes.
have to like ease it open
Yeah, you can't
or
open it quickly.
over the sink.
And if you drop it before you open it, you better wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. What are your feelings about dumping collagen on your steaks? It's become quite popular.
Yeah, just eat the gristle, eat the skin, eat the fat. There's plenty of collagen in your steak. It's a waste of money to buy collagen powders. But, I mean, people do it. I'd much rather them do that than put a sugar-filled steak sauce on there. But it's not bad in any way to do it. It's just a waste of money. And plus, some collagen powders have carbs. You got to watch them. They'll put sugar in there. Maltodextrin, molasses, organic honey, agave nectar. Make me.
Is stock and bone broth the same thing? Good question.
Sort of. Bone broth, typically you let it simmer a lot longer. And so you actually leach a lot of the minerals out. You leach the collagen out and all the fat out. Whereas I think probably a stock, you would just boil them for a little bit for the flavor. Right?
Steak is more like
A stock?
just stock. Did I say steak?
Yeah.
Yeah, stock is more like you don't get the nutrients.
Just the flavor.
It's just the flavor.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to eat your gristle, Trisha. You got to eat it. If you can't eat gristle, then eat sardines because they got their little bones and cartilage in there. That's fine too. Berry.
I know. I don't know what they're barking at. It's so annoying. Can you talk about how chronic stress can keep you from being fat adapted?
It's not so much that it keeps you from being fat adapted. It just keeps your cortisol level up, which is going to keep your insulin level up, which is it means you're not going to burn as much fat. And you run the risk of having all the other symptoms of insulin resistance. So if you've got some chronic stress in your life, you got to follow the 3-step strategy. If you can fix it, fix it. If you can't fix it today, make a plan to fix it tomorrow. And if you can't ever fix it, then you got to pray about it and give it to somebody. Give it to God, give it to whoever. You got to let it go to the universe. If you can't fix it, stop worrying. I know that's easier said than done. I know.
Ellen wants to know, can too... Wow! Why would you... Oh, you are such a shithead.
What? I just want you to flush it. Just found a tick. You were closer than me. I was just trying to help you.
God, why? I'm gonna get you. Can coconut oil cause cramps or constipation?
You know, for some people, coconut oil can cause IBS symptoms. And I don't think it's very common, but some people can get gut symptoms from coconut oil. And I think it's because it's a plant-based fat. And some people like...
It's not that funny.
Some people like Michaela Peterson. You've probably heard her story. She couldn't use coconut oil. That would give her all kinds of symptoms. She needs a animal-based oil, like butter, lard, ghee, something like that, tallow, suet.
Do you have another one?
No.
Stop! Ah. I know, I'm yawning. I'm sorry. Stop! Why are you doing... I can see you. Stop it.
That was my goods. Oh, my goods.
Get you in the... You know what tonight.
Hey, now, this is a
Right in
family
it.
show.
Ugh.
Now she's paranoid. Watch.
Stop!
Sorry. Okay, no more. No
I'm
mas.
forcing you.
No mas.
Oh my god.
Somebody said they can survive flushing and come up and bite you on the booty.
Well, I'm putting them in your toilet, so I'm gonna bite you on the butt.
Then I'll have
Look,
beef
you
allergy.
made me lose my spot and everything. How do you convince someone keto is good when they don't believe in science? Now I feel like they're everywhere.
The way you do that is you focus on you. Keep making you better, stronger, slimmer. Start being able to see your veins in your arms and shoulders. And after they've seen that for long enough, they may still not believe in science, but they'll believe in what you're doing and they'll want to know what you're doing. Because some people don't believe in science and they're just not going to hear it. It's fine. Are you itching?
Hate you. Man, children forever. It's so true. Randy says, I've lost my taste for fatty animal fats. I need some alternatives.
Well, there's lots of plant fats that you can get by on. I don't think they're as nutritious, but they'll work. What about butter? Can you still use butter? That'd be good to cook in.
Cindy says her granddaughter was born without a thyroid. She's 16 and was diagnosed with type 1 today.
Oh,
I know. Poor thing. It's killing me how they're encouraging carbs and then telling her to increase her insulin as needed. I've lost so much and become so healthy on keto carnivore, but they are sucking in the medical team's baloney.
yeah, and you're really kind of powerless to just happen to that situation very quickly. You're not going to be able to do that because you'll call, the parents will be like, what are you? You're not a doctor. So if I were you, you got to be a ninja. You got to be very stealthy. And so make her sugar-free fat bombs that she can enjoy. Anytime she's at your house, you can obviously feed her tasty, delicious keto, and then she won't have to use as much insulin. And then you can be gently educating her when she comes to stay with you about how, eating a lot of carbs and using a lot of insulin, you're still doing the damage. Even though your blood sugar number doesn't look bad, you're still damaging your body with all that insulin. And before long, she'll be asking her mom, hey, could you make me some of those delish fat bombs like I had over at so-and-so's house? And then you can win like that, but you can't change this overnight. You're going to have to be very lovingly ninja-ish about this.
Just made me itch all over. You suck. Are pork cracklings carnivore?
Oh, yeah. Make sure that...
Depends if they have seasoning on them, too.
Yeah. And also a lot of companies will fry them in soybean oil or canola. Find a local guy who makes them and make him fry them in lard. Because I guarantee you he's using canola because he thinks that's healthier. But once you explain to him, dude, it's pig skin. Why don't you cook it in pig fat? He'll be like, okay. And it's actually cheaper for him and they taste better. And then that's 100% carnivore. But yeah, meat skins are a pretty darn good snack. I'd much rather you eat them 100 times over than some damn potato chips.
Stop it.
Just loving on you.
What kind of skin conditions would be treated by doxycycline? And are there any natural alternatives, especially if you're on keto?
Yeah. So the two most common skin conditions a doctor would use doxycycline for are acne and then rosacea. There are a couple others, but those are by far the two most common. Both of those conditions get drastically better if you eat very, very low carb keto. I've had multiple teenagers say that they don't even take medication for their acne anymore once they go keto. And who was it? We were in San Antonio. Somebody said they used to have severe rosacea, and it's gone. It's not really gone. If she started eating carbs again, it would come back. I have a touch of rosacea, but it's not bad. But mine used to be 50 times worse back when I was eating paleo. But now you can't even tell I have it.
Somebody said, I hope the dogs and the peacocks aren't fighting. The peacocks would beat their butts.
Peacocks would win that fight. Peacocks are already in their
they're
peacock tree. It's dark here, so I don't know what the dogs are barking at. Probably, we have raccoons who come every night and get into my goat feed, and I got to trap them, but that's probably what they're barking at.
Does my husband have to take statins after a heart attack? He has 2 stents.
It's a great question, and I'll tell you this: if anybody needs to take a statin, it's only someone who's had a heart attack in the past. And so he may want to take 5 or 10 milligrams, a very low dose of Lipitor or Zocor, just to make his doctor happy. And it depends on him. If he's like, I don't know, I believe I better take that, then just get him 5 or 10 milligrams. Don't let them put him on 40 or 80 milligrams. But then also Dr. David Diamond, that video I was talking about on my YouTube channel, he even talks about, and that's called secondary treatment. Primary prevention is giving somebody a statin who's never had a heart attack. Secondary treatment is when somebody has had a heart attack or a stroke and you put them on a statin to prevent a second heart attack. I don't think it does that. Dr. David Diamond doesn't think it does that. But if anybody needs one, it's somebody who's had a heart attack in the past. So very low dose, if any at all. Watch Dr. David Diamond's video on my YouTube channel. And then you can make an informed decision. Ain't that right, baby?
Whatever. Get off me.
No, I love you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
What markers on your lab show inflammation?
Good question. So HSCRP, which is C-reactive protein, ESR, which is your erythrocyte sed rate, your ferritin, your homocysteine. Even acute inflammation can show up in an elevated white blood cell count or elevated platelets. But those are the most common ones.
Do your neighbors complain about the dogs barking? We don't really have any neighbors.
No.
What the neighbors do complain about that are down the road are the peacocks.
Yeah. Our peacocks have a 5-mile territory. They're wild animals. They sleep in a tree. We don't feed them. And so in the mornings, they'll be a mile down the road. And then in the evening, they'll be a mile down the other side. And they'll go up on neighbors' porches and poop on their porch and scratch up their flower beds. And I tell them strategies to prevent this, but some of them don't listen. They just want to complain. There are strategies.
It's okay. They're going to be moved soon. So.
Yeah, hopefully.
Why can ketone levels become lower over time?
Why do you think that is? Nisha knows. I'm going to let Nisha tell you.
Because if you're using your ketones, they're not sitting around in your bloodstream or on your breath. They're being utilized by your body, which is a good thing. That doesn't mean anything is wrong or you're doing anything wrong. It means you're fat adapted.
You're fat adapted. You're burning them. That's good. You don't want to build up a huge surplus of ketones in your blood. It's not dangerous, but it's also not helpful. You want to make ketones and burn them for energy, and that's what you're doing. Congratulations.
Will keto help cellulitis?
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Because cellulitis is basically infection, inflammation. Now, sometimes it can be inflammation with no infection. And so remember, all bacteria love sugar. And so if you're eating a super low carbohydrate diet, what do carbs break down into ultimately? Sugar. That's right, yeah. And so you're starving the bacteria, helping the antibiotics fight, but also you're decreasing the inflammation. And also, as you lower your insulin level, you're going to pee out that extra fluid that you're holding, and so you won't have all the edema that goes along with cellulitis.
If your ketone levels are high, and when you stop growling at me, when you first start, they're going to be high. That's fine too.
Yep, that's normal. Yeah. But then as you become fat adapted, you won't, like when you first start, you might have a 3 or a 4 on your meter. But after you're fat adapted, you might have a 0.5 or a 0.7. That's fine. As long as you're making gains and you're moving towards your goals, you're fat adapted. You're burning fat as fuel.
Juanette says, I have a newborn niece who has Down syndrome and one functioning kidney. My sister-in-law is trying her best, but doesn't listen to much advice from my side of the family. Anything to pass along to her. Well, if she's newborn, I mean, breast milk obviously is going to be the best option for her.
Please don't. I mean, there's nothing you can do. First of all, this is one of those things you've got to lovingly, gently try, but you got to let it go. It's not your fight.
I mean,
but that baby needs breast milk.
There's nothing that's going to help with the mental stuff, but keeping her healthy and having a healthy body is going to be something to promote. And I feel like so many Down syndrome kids are overweight because
people tend to just give them
whatever they want. And that's not really helpful.
No, absolutely not.
That doesn't Down syndrome doesn't mean doesn't mean they can't function. There's gold Olympic medalists that are Down syndrome. They can still have a really good life and those gold medalists aren't eating carbs.
Right. What they eat matters too. Yeah, exactly. And so what's going to happen is you want this baby to grow up and be someone with Down syndrome who is a high functioning member of society. That's possible.
It is.
But nutrition becomes a much bigger deal for this baby than it is for the average baby, because this baby is already this baby didn't get no head start, right? Just, you know what I'm saying? And so this baby needs every advantage nutritionally that you can give it. This baby needs, if mama's breastfeeding, she needs her vitamin D, she needs her iodine, she needs to be eating keto. But are you going to be able to make her do that? No. So you just got to give her your loving
I
opinion.
would find someone who has a Down syndrome child that is doing keto.
Yeah, maybe ask on
and
Facebook.
see
That's
if
a
you
good
can
idea.
hook them up.
Good idea.
know?
That mama would listen to that mama,
Right.
but may not listen to you. That's
Exactly.
right. That's a great strategy. Good job.
Oh, I'm pretty smart.
Pretty smart for a little Puerto Rican girl.
David had a kidney transplant for 3 years while on dialysis 28 years and had his parathyroid removed, but he doesn't have a question. So never mind.
Okay.
Already answered that. No, the peacocks don't wander off. This is their territory. I don't
Yeah.
really know how that works, but
Yeah.
they don't leave.
They might go 3 miles down the road, but they come back to their tree for bedtime every night.
Should I invest in a ketone glucose monitor? If you want to.
Yeah.
I would.
If you enjoy testing, or if you're stalled and you've got diabetes and you can't figure out what's going on, then you might need that information.
The glucose monitor probably is more
Yeah,
important than the
yeah.
ketone monitor, honestly, if you're going to go with one or the other. Oh my gosh.
He's got to go. He got to help his
He doesn't
brother.
do anything.
Squeak.
Okay, bye. How long should I don't know what that word is. Effiant?
Effiant. Yeah.
After heart stents.
Follow your doctor's recommendations on that. Yeah. Follow your doctor's, whatever they tell you to do, that's what you need to do with the Effiant. Because it's different for different kinds of stents, different kinds of heart disease. The recommendations are different. So you got to go with what your doc says on that.
Sultan Al-Kalbani.
Hey.
I probably totally butchered your name, sorry. He's a ketogenic coach, and many people have benefited from advice that he has learned from you. His question is, does ketogenic recover kidney function after starting dialysis?
Usually when you start dialysis, your kidney function's zero. It's done. Now, it theoretically, yeah, you might be able to recover enough kidney function to come back off dialysis. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to know. What country are you a coach in? I want to know. Is it here in the U.S.?
Ugh. Lori says, how can I sneak iodine into my teenager's diet? Can I put it in food?
Yep, you sure can. For years, when I would make scrambled eggs for the Berry girls, they would each get a drop of iodine in their eggs. And then, so I would crack the eggs, 2 eggs for each girl, and then I would put a drop of iodine, a shake or two of good Redmond salt, and then beat it up and put it in the skillet. And they still have no idea that they've been taking iodine for years. Iodine is an element. You're not going to cook it out of the food because it requires nuclear fusion or fission for it to be broken apart. And so you can cook it, yeah. But you can also put a drop in their whatever they're drinking, in their tea, in their coffee, whatever, yeah.
Teresa wants to know, how large of a group do I have to get together in order for y'all to come? What San Antonio did, and if you can get in touch with Anna or any of the girls from Keto San Antonio, I'm sure would be willing to help you set something up. They got a venue that housed about 200. Well, first it was 100, but then we had too many people, so then they got one that housed 200. Then they set up an Eventbrite for tickets, and basically that kind of thing is going to be...
If you can
The
get
amount of
200
people.
people together, then
Yeah.
you can charge a very reasonable
Right.
entry
And
admission,
be able to pay for the venue.
and then it'll pay for everything. But if you got less than 200, then you gotta either eat some of the cost or you gotta charge them more. And we don't like it when people charge people a lot of money. That's not our thing.
So I think what was the tickets? $45?
40, 45, something like that.
$45, I
That's
think, is
about
what
as
we
much as you want to
charged.
charge, yeah.
And that gave Keto San Antonio money to put on the event, get giveaways, pay for everything, and then they gave him an honorarium for speaking. And I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help anybody set up things like that because
Yep.
they did such a good job. It was amazing.
Anna loves helping people. If you reach out to her, she's the administrator.
sweetest. And she's a patron, I'm pretty sure. She might be on here already. Karen wants to know my HSCRP went up from 6.7 to 8.4. I've been keto since September and carnivore since December. I have a pacemaker. Don't know what else to do, and my doctor wants me on statins.
Yeah, so statin's not going to lower your CRP, so stop worrying about that. You've got to figure out where your inflammation's coming from. It could be any number of things causing this, from an ingrown toenail to some chronic rash you've got to a tumor somewhere. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you need to go back to your doctor and say, look, Bubba, stop talking about the damn statin because I'm never going to take that. But what I do need you to do is find the inflammation in my body. Do we need to do a CAT scan? Do I need to go to a specialist? Do you need to check some more labs? Shut up about the statin and help me with this inflammation. I got to find it. I don't know where it's at. That's what I would do.
The keto coach says he is from Oman.
Ah, cool. Very nice.
So in 2 days, I'm attending a debate in Ministry of Health regarding the use of ketogenic
Nice.
as method to fight obesity.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Keep up the great work. Get a big group together and we'll come see you guys. That'd be awesome.
One more good question. Anna McNeil Smith. Yes.
That's
Jennifer.
her. Yep.
Thank you, Jennifer, for putting the info on there. Somebody said, I see you put money in your phone case.
Yeah.
This is my emergency fund because we went.
That was funny.
He ate my freaking dip, and so we went to town. And we get to town, we didn't have any money.
We literally didn't have a penny.
Not a penny.
No cards, no checks, and we didn't have cards, so we couldn't go by the ATM.
Right.
We literally were, it felt like 20 years ago.
I was like having anxiety. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, we're poor.
Yep, this is how it feels. I remember. I've been this way. It's like, I don't know. So we had to go buy.
$14.21 in the bank. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, we had to go buy and borrow $20 from a friend in town. True story.
Yeah, I texted my friend. I was like, what you doing? She was like, we're just doing eggs for Easter. And I was, so I need some money. She
Yeah.
was like,
What? Yeah, true story.
we don't have Apple Pay in our town. Walmart doesn't do that yet, unfortunately.
They would be like, what?
What's Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear the peacock? Gatsby won't shut
they've
up.
heard it for sure. Anyways, yeah. So that's why I have
Yeah.
this.
Never again.
Oh, hey, there's Anna.
Hey,
Hey, Anna, we
Anna.
were just talking about you.
Somebody's wanting advice, Anna, about how to get an event together, like the beautiful event you guys had in Keto San Antonio.
Yeah.
And so, would you mind if people reached out to you for
Yeah.
advice? Because, man, Anna,
Y'all nailed it.
nailed it. Yeah, it was a great event.
Okay, the PKD diet is from Hungary. It's the paleo ketogenic diet. It says
Oh, yeah.
2 to 1 fat ratio to protein.
Yeah.
They also say
I have
no
heard
one
of it.
needs more than 450 grams of total. Okay, so what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's fine. And so it's a great place to at least to start. So do that diet, and then if you stall and you stop making progress, then you know what to do next, which is cut the carbs.
All right, so that's it, you guys.
Yes.
We will be here next week. Don't talk about Endgame until then.
No in-game posts. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you so much for your support. See you next time.